Welcome to UEN Video. This is a tutorial for Microsoft's PowerPoint 2007, the latest version of Microsoft's Office software. There have been several updates and a lot of people have kind of had a little bit of a time adjusting to this one. I actually kind of like it. It does some pretty good things. A few features that are kind of different to it. As we get started here and do our first baby step, one of the features is this Office button. The Office button, if you click on it, kind of works a little bit like the Start button on the menu bar or on the taskbar at the bottom. It just kind of gives you a launch point for several different things you can do. One of the other new features is the way that the ribbons are designed. Each of the ribbons, instead of being a menu, it's much more visual and you see kind of what you're going to do when these ribbons pop up. Some of them are contextual, they pop up when you're doing certain things. We're going to start today with a baby step, what I call baby step number 1. You'll notice down below here in this pane, this task pane here allows you, well, it's actually the designing pane. It allows you two different options. There's a slide pane that shows you a miniaturized version, kind of a preview version of the slide you currently have selected and any other slides that are in the show. We only have one, so not much to see there right now. There's also an outline tab. If you switch to it, it looks quite a bit different. Changes the size of my task pane, which is normal, and that's kind of what we want to do. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to design and input content using the outline mode. So I'm going to click right here to get started, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick PowerPoint presentation on the solar system. So solar system, I hit enter. I'm going to press the tab button. The tab button moves me over one level in the hierarchy, so it kind of drops it down to a lower hierarchy level. I'm going to click on my home tab here so I can see these other options. These buttons right here will also change that indent, so you can increase or decrease the level of it, but the tab key will do it as well. I'm going to type in my subtitle for my movie, or for my show here. It's going to be called A Trip Around Our Celestial Neighbors. And then when I get to the end of that line, I press enter. What you'll notice is that it dropped it to a new line at the same level in the hierarchy. Now if you notice on some of the keyboards, especially the PC keyboard, you'll notice on the tab key there's two arrows, one pointing each direction. The top one shows you that what will happen if you press the shift, it'll send it the other direction. So I'm going to hold down the shift key and press the tab button on my keyboard, and it moved me up to a higher level. This button here on the home tab will do the same thing. I kind of don't watch what's going on here, but it took me to a new slide. But I tend to tell people, if you're going to design content in the outline mode, kind of ignore what's going on over there a little bit. We're going to take a look now here and type in our first slide. Our first slide will be called Inner Planets. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to tab again, which will drop me down to that lower level. I could have chosen this button here if I wanted to, but the inner planet, the first inner planet is Mercury, then Venus, Earth, hit enter, and then I'm going to press the tab key because I want to put in something as a subtopic under Earth. I'm going to put Luna, Earth's moon, and now I'm going to do something new. Well, no, the shift tab we've already talked about, and that's going to be Mars. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to tab in. We're going to type Phobos, Deimos. Those are Mars's two moons. I hit enter, and then I shift tab. Will take me to the same level as Mars, Earth, Mercury, and Venus, but I want to go one more shift tab up in order to create an entirely new slide. Asteroid belt. Press enter, and then press the tab key over. Actually, I don't need to do that, so I'm going to shift tab back to that because I just want to go right to the outer planets. I'm going to press tab again and put in Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Now, I can come in here and click on Jupiter, press enter, or click at the end of Jupiter and then tab in to put in Galilean Neptunes. I could do the same thing here behind Saturn and type in, tab in and type rings. So I can add subtopics wherever I want. Another feature is if I'd happen to get something out of order, I can just drag and move it to the correct place. Now there's a font menu that automatically comes up contextually. Lets me adjust things, but I can move Saturn up above if I wanted to. So I have some features here that I can use to adjust my content. That's a little, that took it a little bit too far. That little pop-up menu can become a little obtrusive. It makes it hard to see where you're dragging, but there's a little blue line that'll show up where you're trying to drag to. You can kind of see it there. Okay, at the end of Neptune, I'm going to Shift Tab and put my final slide, the Kuiper belt. Then press Enter and tab over for planetoids. And the planetoids are Pluto and Charon. And we can also talk about the comets in the Kuiper belt. That is the basics of inserting content in the outline mode really quickly. I think this is a useful feature for educators because a lot of us are kind of comfortable with and okay with using an outline to create things and to talk about things as we work through our classes. So this is a quick and easy way to get your content in. Right now, if I wanted to, I could go to Slideshow and view the show. It'll go full screen, and I can actually teach this right now without anything more. Just that as a talking points. In the next baby step, we'll talk about how to do something more.